Ew! Stop it. Stop it! Hey friends! Welcome back to Minimal Mystic. I know it's been a couple of weeks, but we had a lot going on. I was in the emergency room for a little bit, and then after that, or before that rather, we decided to go boating with a friend and take him out on the lake, sailing.
Doing what I like to do, sailing in the beautiful waters of Lake Lanier.
And then it was the 4th of July, so we did the 4th of July out on the lake.
Let's out again. There I go. There I go.
The White Claw.
It's water.
Well, women. All I know is this thing sounds like a Formula One running across water.
Right? It's like,
So that's why we've been gone.
it's not all projects. We gotta enjoy.
That's the whole point.
The whole reason why we want to live out here, so we still take some time to enjoy that.
Yeah, and so that being said, we did still get a little bit of stuff done. Not a whole lot of stuff. We, Jordan started figuring out the mess that is underneath the helm. What you doing?
Wiring things. It's a mess in here. So much. But I freed the wiring harness that goes to the engine. This is the main thing that goes into the helm for all the gauges. So I freed that. Trying to figure out what all of this stuff is. I think these 120 volt AC cables, like there's stuff that's like been cut. That's also part of it. I think these 120 AC cables go down here, run all the way back to the engine. The engine for like the engine compartment for the generator at one point. I'm underneath the helm and it's very uncomfortable. But I'm just trying to take the electrical tape off all the wires because they got bundles of wires, electrical taped, combining with other bundles of electrical taped wires, and then that is electrical taped, and then they got them like clamped everywhere and together. So I need to remove all that so I can separate all the individual wiring out to kind of figure out what goes where and kind of make a plan of what can be removed or what needs to stay for now. And it's raining. We got a tropical storm supposed to be hitting today. So this was a great day to be on the boat to see if we fixed that leak. And we think we found the actual origin of it, the leak. So the epoxy part may not have been needed, but we'll see. We're gonna time how long it takes for water to come in and show.
I honestly can't think of anything better than a summer rainstorm out on the lake. I mean, it's so relaxing, the sound of flowing water, the clouds in the sky. This is what life's supposed to be.
But I was able to trace most of the wiring from the panel and through the wiring harness and what goes into the engine and what kind of comes back around the boat. And it's a big chore, but it's kind of like getting this abstract picture and it's starting to finally become something more tangible. Not 100%, but close enough to start kind of forming a plan of how I would like to tackle the electrical. So that was that. Still a lot to go.
I decided that that's entirely on him at this point because Jordan has his own process of doing things and
Respect my process.
I just get in the way. So I'm just letting him do. Stop that. I'm just letting him do. I know. because it's hot. His thing. And then we also started putting on the skins on the walls. Just on the walls that don't have anything else that has to happen.
Nothing major, like not putting any new holes into it or whatever, just
Right.
to do something.
Yeah, they're the walls that aren't gonna get in the way of anything else. So we're not cutting holes in there for outlets. We don't have to cut holes in there to trace anything. Those walls are gonna be as they are. So we started putting skins on those, and I'm glad because it's progress in a positive direction. It's all been a negative direction, as in negative as in taking out, and now we're actually starting to put things in. This is another perfect example of why we need a truck. So we're gonna be putting in some of the skins for the walls today, and they come in 4x8 sheets, and we had to cut them to fit them in to the vehicle. We have to cut them to essentially put them in and glue them back together. We're cutting them to put them back together. It's like a puzzle.
But it worked. We didn't have to rent a van.
We didn't have to rent a van, but it would have been nice to have a truck. And we're driving down the road and Jordan's whipping around corners.
No, I'm not.
Just hanging out the back. all janky like. Okay, so first things first, we need to clear out the space because we're gonna do at least the bottom portion of this wall right here with the new siding that we bought. And I've got this cool Stanley Bostitch. Bostitch? It's Bostitch, right? That's how you say it, Bostitch. Anyway, it's a heavy duty staple gun and brad nailer, and I just tested it out on a piece of wood, so I'm pretty confident it's not gonna go through our siding.
Yeah, don't do that. We don't want to deal with fiberglass wood.
No. So I'm pretty confident it's not gonna go through there.
We should do a double check measure though.
I did two with the wood. I think we're good. It's thick enough. Anyway, so we're gonna glue it. We're gonna put some glue on the thingy, on the wood, and then we're gonna stick it to the wall, and I'm gonna in it in place. And when we get to the part where we need to get close to the trim and everything, we're going to trace it out. The wood's, it's Luan, and for those of you who don't know, they use Luan a lot in film to build sets. It's a very, very thin plywood. Very thin, and it's light enough that we can hold it up and trace it out, so we don't need to do some creative like craft paper tracing, but we can trace out the window frame, and it's pretty easy to cut with even like a handsaw. It's very thin stuff. So, we have a nice solid backing on there already. This is just to give us a nice smooth surface
To paint.
Yeah. And then wallpaper in the places that we're gonna wallpaper, and shiplap in the places that we're gonna shiplap. Just prepping the wall by pulling all these hundreds of staples.
His favorite thing.
My favorite thing. It's like Christmas, 4th of July, and
It is
my
4th of
birthday.
July. It is 4th of July now.
I know. And this is what I'm doing. Not drinking, not watching fireworks, I'm pulling staples.
I'm just gonna write.
Just write our names or something.
Well, That's supposed to be a P. R O S E E. I'm just like, how do I spell it? R. Oh, it doesn't matter. As long as you know of the intention. Prosperity. This really hurts my hand. Oh my gosh. This might be it running out. Did you use a lot the first time?
No. We got 4. And you're using a lot more than I did.
Yeah, well, since this one's getting more exposed, this is the top half. We'll be leaning up against it. It won't be very stable.
Yeah, make sure you get it close to the edges then too.
There's no order to this. Yeah, this really hurts the carpal tunnels and the arthritis in the hands. Whew. That's supposed to be an eyeball. Another eyeball.
It's a winky face.
It's a winky face. There you go.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna call that good. Hold on here.
You press the trigger, the little metal trigger. Yep. There you go. So if you remember from our previous video, we had to like firm this wall up with some Bondo. And now, ooh, really dusty. And now we're getting ready to close this wall back in. I mean, we're not doing it today, but we're getting close to closing this wall back in. So in order for the Luan, the skin that's going on it to sit flush to the wall, we needed to sand it down. And this is 80 grit and it's doing fine. I mean, it's nice and smooth now. It's flush, pretty much flush with the surface. These are deeper in the wall than they are further out, so it's not really gonna be an issue right there. And that's a nail.
Yep.
But yeah, ow, splinter! Ah! Every time. And next week, I'm going to start hopefully, framing out the built-ins that are going to go in.
I'm still nervous about it.
Are you nervous about it?
Put trust in him to do a good job.
Mm-hmm. And this channel is called Minimal Mystic. So there's another element that we don't often get to talk about, and that's like the mystic portion of things, the mysticism. And all of this project and everything wouldn't be possible without that element in our lives. Like, we've manifested the shit out of this project. Like, we put in a lot of energy and capacity into making this happen. We didn't have the money for this when we decided to cut the cord and get it, but we put mental work into it, and it was then delivered to us, and then we didn't have the money to start doing the renovations, and again, it was provided. It keeps happening. I just got a promotion at work, which is gonna make me. Well, I mean, we were freaking out like what, a week ago, about where we were gonna find the money.
I'm still just a little bit.
You're always like that,
Yeah,
though.
that's just my head.
But we were freaking out a week ago about where we were gonna find the money to get this done, to continue this project, because my current contract on the TV show that I'm working on is coming to an end. And as soon as we put that out there and started putting the energy towards that, what happened? I got a promotion that I didn't ask for that's going to be making me significantly more money than I currently am, and I'm getting a couple of weeks extension on the show that I'm on. And these two things came completely out of nowhere, but they were goals that we set. They were things that we spoke into the universe. We put it out there. Not only that, but Jordan is going to be coming to work with me now. And
he's trying to talk me into it. The work is not at all what I would consider enjoyable work, but it's getting to the point where it's like as a new business owner, venture entrepreneur, or whatever, it takes time to really, especially when you're doing something you're not investing in like marketing and ads and everything is purely organic, which is, in my opinion, the most powerful way to go. But it's a long-term game, and I'm still in the beginnings of that, so I'm not seeing any money coming in yet from that, but I'm laying down the bricks for it to, when it finally starts happening, it's going to start happening, and I have no doubt that, so essentially by the end of this month, not to throw out numbers just for the sake of it, but there's a real reason why we say it, a big goal of mine for my own coaching practice was I want to hit a 10K month. And
he should have been more specific.
I should be more specific. Well, the thing is, he's going to meet my goal before I do, because we already broke down the numbers, and with the promotion and everything, by the end of this month, he should be hitting just a tad over, I think, $10,000, which sounds like a freaking lot. It sounds like a lot. It is. But it goes by so quickly.
Especially when you have big projects like that. But that's the thing. That's the mystic part of it. A mystic part of this entire channel that we've rarely spoken on is that we've applied the mental energy towards that. I mean, these goals, yeah, a lot of the things have seemed to come out of nowhere, but we spoke them into existence. We put that energy there, and we continue to, the grass isn't greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. So we kept putting water on that grass, and it matured.
If you put it on too much water, you'll drown it. So you gotta be careful of what you're.
Right. So everything in moderation. But that's what we've done, is we continue to feed that energy into this, and in return, it's feeding it back to us. So it's a thing that I think everybody needs to put into practice into their own lives. It's really easy to get negative and find yourself in a negative space, and it's easy to see things aren't going well, or have these big dreams and only focus on, I'll never be able to get there, or this bad thing happened to me, and it's easy to spiral down that.
I think the key thing is, whatever you want to do, or whatever big thing you want to do, just know logically and in your heart that, hey, it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And don't focus too much on the process of really how it's going to happen. Just trust that it's going to, because you'll be surprised at what the universe provides for you and the opportunities that you would never have thought of how you would actually obtain a certain dream or goal. Because what you think is the pathway, most of the times it's not going to be that way. So it's okay to plan, but just be open to, and I'm a big one when resistance to when it comes to those kind of changes, but it's like, just know that when the universe presents an opportunity, you can take it, and it's totally fine. So yeah, don't focus too much on the process. Just know that it's just going to happen.
Enjoy the journey.
Like this houseboat, like realistically, you know, we don't even know if we'll even have the funds to really finish this. We don't know what's going to happen, but we know that we'll end up with something that we're going to love, and it's going to be right for us. The design or whatever the choices might change, or who knows, but we know it's going to get done at some point.
Just gonna take time, gonna take effort.
So he finally got that blue chair out. He's gonna leave it up at the bathhouse so someone could just take it for free. Yeah, we had to get it out of the back window because this was too narrow. So we had to bring it out the back window and then try to get it through this narrow side deck. It was a challenge, but yay, it's finally out.
Anyway, like, subscribe. If you want to help us make this endeavor happen, you can follow us on our Patreon, and share and comment. A few of you comment, and a few of you ask questions, and a few of you have, like, you know, started your own struggle with us, and that's fantastic. But we want to hear from you, so just do it.
And do it. Oh, and apparently our line snapped. We had no idea. While we were working on the boat, our friends show up and they're like, "Hey, how do we get aboard your boat?" And I'm like, "Just step on." And they're like, "How?" And I was like, "What do you mean how?" Our line snapped and we had no idea.
Yeah, we were just like kind of just bobbing inside of our. We could have just floated right out into the marina.
We had no idea.
Had no idea. Oh well.
The dangers.
Yeah. The excitement. The adventure. So Jordan screwed up.
I didn't screw up.
Well, you did.
The boat was screwed up.
So he grabbed the wrong sliding door to close it.
You're rushing me.
Oh, it's always my fault. He grabbed the wrong sliding door and pulled it out. So we had to disassemble the sliding glass door. We had to take the glass out and put it back in because the gaskets were all off.
And when we were trying to fix it, the sides came off, and we pretty much had to disassemble the whole thing, reassemble the whole thing, and got it back in there. Luckily,
surprisingly, it was easy though. It wasn't that bad.
We were able to do it. So yeah. Man, I was like, damn, we're gonna.
We almost couldn't though because the damn screws were stripped. Fortunately, it was 2 screws on the same side that were stripped, so we were able to just like pull it up and out. But yeah, they could have been really bad. We might have had a hole in the boat.
It also could have been prevented if there was actually a plate at the bottom, like there should be, to prevent that door from sliding.
Right.
Doesn't have.
Which we're going to get now, because now we're aware of the issue.
You can get an RV.
Yeah, it's just a metal plate. There, you can get them just about anywhere. So that was the fun adventure we just went through.
And I'm starving.
But we have Chinese food at home.
Left over with you.